What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Unreal Engine 5 game development live stream where we're back in our Deck Knight project of game built from scratch using Unreal Engine 5, of course, C++, blueprints, the gameplay ability system plugin, all of that good stuff. So today we're going to continue where we left off yesterday. Off stream, I actually brought the project to Unreal 5.7 just because, and it was relatively smooth. I gotta fix my repository though, so in the background I'm just reverting everything, clearing it out so I could just throw all this new stuff in with the new engine version and everything. And honestly, there's not a lot going on in our scenes that would really benefit from all the crazy stuff that ImGui's doing with, non-net foliage and procedural generated content and all those editors and stuff like that. So I just like to keep everything up to date as much as I can. So there's only a few. There are some visual glitches I'm seeing from time to time. I don't know if it's because of that, or because I broke something else, or if it's just because it's loading something, I'm not sure. But yeah, there's some flashes of light happening from time to time. I'll have to figure that out at some point. So yeah, today oh boy. Oh. Yeah, my motion warping is also kind of fucked up. I noticed yesterday. I didn't do my jump attack or air attack. Right, or in air. Yeah. I gotta fix my warping. So I don't know. I guess the rotation offset was always there and I was just jerking it out. Should be all good. Let's try again. I'm also debating on whether or not my camera should be farther away. So something like this. Maybe move my health bar back up to the top left. I don't know. From time to time, this white thing kind of appears. I don't know if it's because of the skybox doing something. Something else. Still a flash. Unless that's something like loading. I'll have to see if it happens on cook builds, because yeah, that's kind of annoying. I would also have to maybe render these when they're not at a certain distance away. The damage numbers too, maybe. I'd have to see what's going on. I wonder if I can reproduce it here by the flash. And I'll have to eventually fix the material complexity. Some of these things. Let me see. I'm getting sidetracked, of course. I usually am. Let me just open up in a basic level. See. Yeah, there's still this flash periodically happening. And I don't know why. That's weird. Maybe I don't go to 5.7. I'd have to revert back to 5.6. Honestly, I don't know what's causing that. Has to do, maybe it has to do with the trail? The sword trails? Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. I'm not gonna give it any material. I just want to see if it breaks still. So it defaults to something. We still get the same problem. Not sure yet. Yeah, bugs that happen. The inconsistency, especially if it's like visual artifacting bugs or something like that, that's annoying as hell. So it seems fine. It's the specific material. Yeah, from time to time. Not sure what it could be. Yeah, I shouldn't. Yeah, I shouldn't really be wasting too much time on this, but of course I'm gonna. Cast ray trace shadows, probably not. Wonder if there's any settings here. Or maybe, because I did set some settings under rendering. I've been fucking around with some shit too, so it could always be that. Under engine rendering. I wonder if it's bore shading. Let's do some restarts and see what's going on. I still don't know how to best like optimize the visuals of the game, and maybe I'm just focusing too much on that, you know? But could be just a waste of time at the moment, as long as it looks nice and it's getting decent frame rates, you know? Right now we're running at, right now it's at 60, but that's because it's like clamped in. So let's just see. Yeah, still happens. Awesome. Let's spend like 30 minutes looking at this because I'm lazy. I'm an idiot here. Let's see. Is it because I have anti-aliasing? Maybe because I know I turned those on. Virtual shadow map, sort by distance, exposure. There's also anti-aliasing method. Set the none. I don't remember what else I turned on and off. Damn it. What could it be? Like, I might have to like defer back to a previous engine version, maybe. Like, I know there's also config default engine. Did I turn any of this on? Megalites. Protects with fogging for opaque. Is turn anything else on, right? This is going to be fun. See what the internet has to say. So, actually, this says nanite plus translucency conflict, which maybe. So far? No! It's still there, damn it. I don't know if this is really what's happening. So if you use Niagara Ribbon Renderer, nanite plus weapon trail flicker. I don't think let me just make sure. Because I also did nanite. I turned nanite on some shit. Let me just see if it's still on. So light. On full. So I think once it's disabled, I don't think I should let it, right? Yeah, it's turned off. Fast weapon movement plus temporal super resolution. I don't think I'm using those anymore, right? Didn't I disable those just now? Purge shading, anti-aliasing method. Oh man. Let's just do shadow maps. No. Let me, so I do have a backup. Just copy my config. Overwrite. Let's see what happens. Now, clicker still happens. Why? That's going crazy. Anti-aliasing method. Get to XR. We're getting still there. And it still happens now. Still flashes. Okay, so we're gonna spend all stream trying to fix this because this is pissing me off. Assuming it's the trail, right? If I were to make this opaque. Oh, getting a flash, right? Yeah. High fogging. No. So in the material translucency, lighting mode, surface forward shading. Another suggestion here. Let's see. No. that doesn't make a difference. Also missing like material additive. Well, maybe we can go into the ribbon here. So yeah, this stream is a lie. Let's go to the Niagara effect. Anything that is like legacy showing, no. So Niagara Trail ribbons will flicker white if normalized age briefly hits 0 or 1. It says also I could possibly clamp this 19.01 9. Okay. That's annoying. So ribbon renderer. Do I want to turn that on? That makes a difference. Material interface. Boom, boom, boom. What am I looking for? Nothing with age, right? Normalized age. Seems like other materials aren't really having an issue, right? Let me replace it with another one. Weapon trail. Let's go to trail 1 example. Plug you in. There's a trail, right? It doesn't seem like it's having an issue. So what's the difference? So it's translucent and unlit. For 1. Don't want it to cast any shadows or anything like that. Don't want it to be two-sided. Under usage, so beam, trail, ribbons, and particle systems, right? So let's have offset mode. Put you back. All the best for the game. Much appreciated. If we can fix this light flicker that happens, I'll be happy. Happens. Coordinates. It's two-sided. Will it fix it? Maybe. I don't know. Oh my god. Is this a particle effect going into the camera sometimes? I don't know, honestly. It could be. Like, the camera now is far away, so we can try to see if it's happening. Yeah, it still happens. Like, I know it's the material or the particle or something. We'll see. Maybe it's going into it, actually. Let's get really close. Like, that happens then. Happens there. Happens there. So... render after depth of field. Is that anything? There's other ones. Faster weapon move with super TSR flicker. There's nothing for velocity, right? The output depth and velocity. These should be turned off. But let's turn them on and see if anything happens. Hey, Monster Edits, how's it going? What's up? Just struggling with a random bug now that we moved to 5.7. Where there's sometimes a flicker on screen like there. That has to do with the material. I think. Now we could, for example... if we change the trail, let's just change the trail again, just to kind of confirm. We got a funky trail. Boom, boom, boom. So what's the actual game idea? So the game idea is to have your character, and basically you're going to be fighting off waves of enemies, but the hook that I'm trying to get in is that I want to blend deck building with a third-person action kind of game. So as you're playing the game, you have a deck and you construct that deck, and during the game and while you're playing in this third-person aspect of it, you can then look at your cards grant cards using these card points. I forget what the card points are called. But the ones that are on the bottom left underneath above the health. And so giving you those cards gives you temporary buffs and abilities you could then activate to kill enemies faster and increase your survivability, and then more and more waves come. And then I wanted it to be an overarching AI, so I want the game to kind of feel like you're playing a card game against another AI, but your character that you're playing is like the pawn that you're using mainly in this card game. So the enemy AI will be playing other cards that buff their characters or maybe spawn newer types of archetypes of characters, and things like that. And so, you know, you kind of progress into this loop, and I want to say it's a roguelike, but I don't really know just yet, but that's the basic idea. But right now we're just working on some basic mechanics and lower subsystems to kind of get things working. So it seems like this one's fine. So nice, sounds interesting. How do we collect these cards in the game? So I would want you to be able to unlock and construct your deck in between waves. So as you play the game, as you defeat waves, you earn currency and these points that you can then attribute to your character's base attributes. So health, attack power, defensive powers, things like this. But then you can also spend those points on cards. And then you can just build the deck with those cards. So you can sell cards back into the shop to get more points back. You can stack different types of cards. I don't really know yet what kind of cards will exist and what those categories are. Those are the things I'm kind of trying to design off on the side while I'm working on this main part here with a friend back home. But yeah, I want there to be like passive cards. I want there to be like item cards. I want there to be summon cards. I want there to be active ability cards. And then eventually I want you to be able to have like different mechanics that inflect into those cards. One of the ideas that I have is like the, forget his name again. Verso? Yeah, I think his name is Verso from Clair Obscur, where you know, the ranking system and stuff like that. So I think it'd be kind of cool to combine that like a Devil May Cry style meter, where if you're performing better, it affects the potency and the strength of the cards that you're going to be activating. So no, you know, if you have an ability card that grants you like this big, like, I don't know, aerial strike, you can say, you know, when you have like an S style rank, when you activate it, it increases the radius, increases the damage, it does something like that. So I want it to feed into itself like that a little bit. But, you know, right now we're struggling with weapon trails and flickering. So, you know, one thing at a time, I suppose, but I don't know what the key differences are here. So a surface, unlit, two-sided. Is it because I have cast ray shape shadows turned off now as well? We'll see. I'll put this one back. The bug is not happening with this effect. It doesn't look like it's happening with this effect, no. Seems like it's only really happening, yeah, with this one effect, and it's still happening. And it seems like it just started happening when I got to 5.7. So that's where the struggle is coming in for me at the moment. there a separate? Let's see, is anything here? The struggle is real. I don't know if it's always been here though. Yeah, we could try that. So here is our weapon color. So we have a pink one already, funny enough. And we can make the trail lifetime kind of longer so we can see everything. So yeah, so the flickering still happened. And I think it was white. We can also go to our melee attacks. Let's just take it off entirely. Heyo. Hey, Coral Pebbles, how you doing? How's it going? Struggling. Well, let's take out the weapon trail entirely. So 1, 2. Two. Double. So we shouldn't have any sort of weapon trail. Refactoring allowed my project for 5.7 cleaning up deprecations. Yeah, that's what I had to do as well. And now I'm suffering the consequences of going into 5.7, I think. I'm getting like a random flickering. So now we're not doing any sort of weapon trail. So let's just see if we can get this white flicker to happen. So, what do you mean? So it's happening to you too? The struggle? Because yeah, that's what's happening for sure. So it just seems like it's this one trail material. So that just tells me something is wrong with the material. Something like about this. Okay, so it has an opacity mask. So is it because it wants it to be default unlit or masked? It doesn't want to be masked, does it? Trails should be working. fast. Okay, so I'm gonna make it translucent. Let's disconnect that. Alpha. Because it's the color or something. I'm not sure. So let's play with it more. I don't know if this worked or not. Maybe that did it. Well, let's make this 0.45 again. Let's make the color this default blue. Billy Whitaker looks nice and fluid, looks fun to handle. That's what she said. That is what she said. All right. I'm gonna say it's fixed. I hope it's fixed. To be honest, I don't know exactly what it is that I did that fixed it. My guess is obviously the last thing I changed, which was taking out this multiplier. So if I were to put that back in, let's see if we can reproduce it. So, yeah. I was able to just get it a couple times now, if you see that. So if I no longer multiply that, just pass an RGB. That seems to have fixed it. So, fine, I'll accept that. I do want to turn off other stuff, but I don't need cast ray trace shadows. That's weird. I don't know if that'll have any cost. Looking good. Yeah, thank you. Well, all the art assets are from Fab. I'm not gonna take any kind of credit for any of the visuals, but all the design and programming and everything is me. So setting up this weapon trail data, hooking into the Niagara effect and everything, that's all me, but the actual materials being used and like this heavy attack logic here, like all those visuals are everything else. Okay. So what to do now? So I still got, again, I need to clean up my perforce. Like, it's trying to do like a huge revert of everything. It's all a fucking mess. But now we can get into what I wanted to do from the very beginning. Which was the damage pipeline stuff again. So what we did yesterday, we managed to create an ability task, and we managed to be able to link into a callback delegate and everything like that. But we wanted to create now a damage pipeline statics library, so that we could hook into that event without explicitly calling the damage pipeline subsystem. So again, let's go into melee base. So by default in melee base we actually have it in code, but we need to update that as well. But we created an ability task. Wait hit event. So we have that kind of callback, which is more or less the same thing as damage pipeline. What is it? Here's event. So register actor on hit. So basically, this is more or less the same thing. So what I want to create now is not to make this blueprint accessible anymore, but make a statics library that exposes it. So you don't have to get a reference to this at all. Let's try that. Wish me luck. So the first thing we gotta do is make a blueprint function library. So let's do that. The tools, C++ class, all classes, function library. So we'll call it GAC, damage, pipeline, statics. We should have blueprint libraries, but I'll put it with systems and damage. Called statics. Oh god, it's opening Visual Studio. That means I gotta fix, I think it's in the project settings. Writer project. That, please, thank you. Okay, let's go into our, I think it's project settings, or maybe it's editor defaults. I think it's under source code. Yeah, Visual Studio. Writer. Of course, I gotta restart, but I'll restart later. Just because I will need to go into the code anyway. So it compiled successfully. So let's exit out of the editor. Got a kitty in the building. Hey, Google. This is Lola, aka Boo Boo. She is the best kitty ever. We'll give her freedom back. So yeah, let's now go into public systems, damage, statics. So now more or less, I gotta recreate the signature of pipeline. So damage pipeline. I think I just need to also include hash include game systems damage data. No. Pipeline types, I believe is all I need. Now I should be able to grab this. Actually, no. I think I just need to grab damage pipeline, honestly. Subsystem will include the types, I think. So now here's the damage pipeline. So we need to... This could be... I guess I could delete these too? I'm not sure. So there's register actor on hit, right? So this more or less needs to be brought over like that. This should now be blueprint callable. Shouldn't be necessary. I also need to bring this one as well. Now, I don't know. I guess it should be a boolean to see whether or not it was true. So bool, right? Static. More or less. Let's make the executive decision here. Comment out some shit, and we'll see what happens. Oh. Subscribing noise scared the shit out of me. My bad. But thanks for the subscription. Much appreciated there. So I should be able to... Let's generate these codes, definitions, yes. Now... There, like, so you should be able to use Kismet. Is there something like statics? Is that valid, or do I have a get world? I do have a get world. Okay. So we want to say you. Guess I could do listener get world. More or less should be what I want. Do the same thing again, except that. And then in theory, should be able just to take that out. We might get some blueprint compilation issues, but let's see. Let's try. Thing can be moved to if statement. Fair enough. Oh. Okay, so it is complaining. Hey, thanks for follow there, John. On Kick. Once again, it's all these Kick. Like you guys don't really see the Kick chat. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But it's all bots. On hit apply delegate callback. I do need. Filing that again. Going now, all the best for the game. Interesting idea. Hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chatting. It's all appreciated. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. I am happy. Hopefully that material issue is fixed now. I fear that might come and bite us in the ass later down the line, but for now, it's fine. All right, so that compiled. Build crashed PC, probably. I also gotta make development builds and shipping builds with 5.7 as well, just to make sure it packages correctly. So honestly, this shouldn't exist anymore. Register on hit, right? Obviously, if this was connected, I think it would give me an issue, right? Let's try. Yes, doesn't exist. So I should be able to say now, register on hit. On hit applied. Listener, could we get avatar actor? Callback. Simulate base. Let's just make sure it's all good. We should see a print string at the top left. There it is. So now that's all Gucci. So that's done. I know we're tracking this here, right? So usability task based ability. That's how I gotta do that. I forgot to add. So add statics for register and unregister on hit. Did that. Done. So usability task and activate ability at the base thing. So yeah, we want to do that. So in progress. So basically what this one is saying is in our base gameplay ability class, we have activate ability. And we have the setup like this, which we don't really want. And we created an explicit task to do that for us. And I always forget how to write this in code. What website is that? This is ClickUp. This is where I have some tasks written out for myself for streaming and things like that. But then there's also documentation stuff that we have that we're working on. We also use Figma for some design stuff. Me and my friend from back home. So yeah, this is the technical design section for on hit stuff, which has some information about our subsystem. So I don't know if because it's just, like we're looking, it's suggesting that maybe we do like a separate subsystem. I'm not sure if we should do that, but maybe that's okay. Let's see. One thing at a time, right? So code. So yeah, instead of doing it this way, right? We want to register that ability task that I created. So I think I do you wait for there is a duration effect change one, but and there's UGAC, which will wait for event, but there should be UGAC and then hit on hit event tasks. And I can't remember. Do I have this to say like new? I don't know if that's correct. So I think I have to register in 2 different ways, right? I have to create 2 delegates. I don't remember how to construct this. I have to look this up. Let's see. Create the class. Ooh, telling me how to make it, but how to use the ability. Okay, so I have to say let's go to the class here. What does it need? So owning ability, which is this. Optional on hit applied. Should be able to just say this. But do I have to make it public? Okay, so remember inaccessible. Seems like that's fine. But in theory, when I do this, let's close out of the editor. Don't remember if I had to say wait for on hit event ready for activation. Don't know. Is there any other examples? I don't know if I have any in C++. Where's BC task, gameplay task, ready for activation. Maybe that's correct. We'll see. But in theory, it should work. And if it doesn't, okay, we'll figure that out. So what it should call back to is this one. So let's see. Okay. Oh, immediately crashes. Not bad, not bad. Let's just take out that line. We'll see what happens. Maybe we don't need to do the ready for activation. I never really remember. See? Okay. So we're not getting the call back. So do I have to say, wait, on event, will this activate? Not sure. Let's find out. You'll get another crash again. So from what I'm seeing, it tries to activate, and then it crashes. But I would want to put an if statement here. Is there a way to put like a fail or something? So for whatever reason, it's not crashes here. Maybe I can put in I need to include this. So this looks right. Okay, so I guess the problem is that it's a new object. To be able to just say okay. Try that. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked by X, people disabling a bunch of features on the 5.7, getting 600 and something FPS. I don't know what features they're turning off. Maybe it's like, I know I don't want to be using nanite, and there's also virtual shadow maps and shit like that. Okay, so we got that, no crash. Let's just see now, and we get the breakpoint right. Boom, awesome. So now our base ability classes will be able to opt in here, or at least get the callback and stuff. Applied event. Because essentially I want to be able to have an ability to kind of listen into both if they want to. Could also work. Would maybe put them behind a Boolean and stuff, but I'm not sure if I want to. Could be good. So let us do a reload of that, but let's also grab that event. So event on hit received event. Base hit received. Should be able to just walk into this while, yep, melee base hit received. But while I'm doing the attack, I got it. So we know that's fine. I also need to do some more adjustments for motion warping because they always kind of get too close anyway. But for now, it's fine. So melee base working. We got our hits. We have it properly integrated into our abilities. We have a statics library now so that we don't have to get reference to that damage pipeline subsystem all of the time. So now we can try to create in the next, I'll say hour. I'll get part one of this, creating a new ImGui debug for this. So let us close all tabs here. It says it's suggested to make a debug subsystem here, so maybe we'll do that just to figure it out. But first things first, we need to go to debugging panels. And this is what a public attribute panel. Let's go to you. Need to make a class here, so add Unreal class. Guess I can make it an object, common U object. We'll call it FSGC damage pipeline panel. Public good. Okay. We're gonna make it this instead. Need to include it. It is not a hue class. Let us move this panel one split and move right so we can look at it over here. So what do we need? Animal panel. It's not going to be a object. I'm assuming we need access to the damage pipeline and this, debug pipeline. But let's just put it all in the damage pipeline for now and refactor it out if we need it. So I should include game systems damage pipeline. Class, guest course, API. I guess it doesn't need a generated H. Look here as well. Let's open up the source file as well. So we need ImGui for sure. Don't need anything gas related. I'm sure we'll need. So far, so good. Twitter is full of great developers sharing information, but I know very well that I will spend hours on arguing with crazy people, so I don't use it. That's fair. Yeah, Twitter is it's a minefield. I just like to observe. I don't really publicly say anything about anything. We don't need a generated U-body. Public. So FC panel, and then deconstructor, and then those. Pipeline system pod. So I guess I need to. This. Let's see what we need to override. Code definitions. Sure. Seems fine. Cache pawns. Good. We need to also go into hub, I believe. There we go. I need to register this thing for debug panel, so I need to register this somewhere. Debug subsystem. Here. Debug hub. Register panel, make shared. FJIC damage pipeline. This thing. Included, I assume. Systems, bugging, panels, pipeline. It's fine. Essentially, I need to get like a history of everything, and I guess like it should only happen when like we're actively kind of watching it. in our design here, this is our hit log entry information. So we're gonna have to construct this as well. So we'll probably have to pull it from the damage pipeline. Maybe that's what the point of the debugging subsystem will be, where it actually just kind of holds the records. And I don't know if it needs to be like a tmap of like this struct to like the actor and then the struct, get all like relevant data for it. We'd have to see. Okay, so now we should see in our debug hub our damage pipeline subsystem. Obviously, clicking on it, not going to do anything, right? So we're going to have to open up the other panel example later. So that's everything in the debug subsystem. Here's our panel, here's our hub. We don't need the hub open at the moment. Statics, we don't really need it right now. In theory, like when we register on hit, like we could register on hit when we have the selected cache collected, and then have a callback within the panel that updates like the history for it. I'm sure there's a couple different ways to connect, but let's start with our types. So if I'm not mistaken, we did add it already, right? So now in theory, when we do get on hit, we kind of want to register in the same kind of way regardless. So if we get hit and if we do hit, obviously we're gonna have to figure out how to visually switch between the two, but so we have the hit event. So I think it's gonna be in here where we could just pass along the context and construct our debug version. So I believe we can function. I don't know if it needs to be a bool. I think it needs to be void for now. So log hit event. It's gonna take the same thing. Then we just gotta kind of construct this based off this hit context. So let's go to our types. Let's just split and move that to the right so we can look at all the types here, what we need to do. So we should be able to so regardless of everything, we want to pass this stuff along, right? So let's start with the hit target GUID. So we gotta say f hit log entry, new entry. It'll do a lot for me. A lot of it's gonna be wrong. But let's not even bother doing it the wrong way. So we gotta do new entry dot target hit target ID equals. I mean, is there a way to give an invalid target ID? We'll have to do a tertiary operator here. Let's just wait on that for a second. So I gotta look this up. Find C++. I wonder if I can give it an empty GUID if the hit target is invalid for whatever reason. I should be able to do something like, so we can say hit context hit target get dot this is a weak pointer, right? So I should be able to say that get something along the lines of that. But should be able to just that. Say something like is valid. Hit context. Is this correct? Incompatible operator. 1 second. Get actor. But should hopefully be valid. So it's empty. Otherwise, I don't know if I should construct it explicitly. But yeah, this should let me know if it's valid or not. And I should be able to do the same now for hit instigator. All seems kosher. So now unsigned integer hit ID. So can I say new entry dot hit ID equals. Now, how do I generate like a unique? Generate unique unsigned int ID. This might be unnecessary, but we'll see. So here's press that ways fastest, simplest global increment counter. And can try to save. Should be able to. Maybe this could also be what's part of the refactor. It's just like the debug version of it, but let's see. uint32 generate debug hit B. Oh. So static. This is what ChatGPT suggests. Not 100% sure what it's doing, but we're just going to do it anyway. So that, bam. Now we do new entry. Hit timestamp equals seconds. So new entry to result. So now the fun stuff. We got names of everything as strings. So entry dot hit target name. Good. Entry dot hit target class name. Investigator. Good. So now I think I need to also get access to the ability system components. Maybe another reason to potentially move stuff out to its own subsystem, but we'll see. So we don't need access. We actually just can grab it, right? Sorry. So new entry. Hit target tags. And bam. All right, that's everything. That's logging the whole thing. So now we need to kind of just add it to the relevant mapping or history. So again, probably where the debug subsystem recommendation is coming from, but we'll just do everything in the damage pipeline for right now. I think we need to, what's wrong? Let's just see if we could still compile this. Getting a lot of yellow here. Just to be sure. Seems fine. Okay. So yeah, we need to create like a team map, I guess. View property team map. We check pointer connector. Maybe it'll be better to separate these out to like, oh no, like hit applied and hit received. So F hit log entry cannot be used. Why? Why the heck not? Make hearing. And let's just add it and make it pretty clear. Hit entries, add. Let's do a getter here. That fine. Maybe I can do a Q function. Hit entry. We get hit log entries for might be better. Now, what's the fastest way to get that? Because I could iterate over it. Literally just iterating. There. Oh, that's three. I don't know why. But the local variable TRA const. Okay, so this could be const then. I'm sure. I'm fairly sure. And I convert L value of type TRA. Const. Sure. No. Okay, but yeah, still wrong. When function returns by const value, consider returning by non-const value instead. Okay, that should be okay. So get hit log entries for actor GUI. Okay. So let's look now to panels. So I want that to be kind of similar, the attributes panel, for example. So we have draw debug panel, right? So we need to do a couple of things, I think. Be open. That. So I don't know if like eventually I have to do like tabs maybe. But let's see. Damage, pipeline, hit, events. And yeah, I gotta do a combo. More or less have to kind of this. So let's see. Good. So I don't think I need to do this. That's good. Now, this is the actual table. I would have to just say like if this select font is valid, and I want to say I would want to make a table, right? I don't know if it needs to be a collapsing header. All the string converting. And then I guess it's a class. Like I don't know if how I want it to explicitly look, but let's just assume we need at least this much. Closing here. So string table equals blah 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 blah, and I'll just say on like that. It'll be good. And now this is kind of like where the table will probably be a little bit messy, right? Because I don't know exactly how to draw the data that I want to draw. That makes sense. I'll also need to make sure I can get access to the damage pipeline. So I would have to just say if damage pipeline subsystem system equals like bam, it's here. Now I need to go back to my damage pipeline types. We'll see how much I could do in 30 more minutes, not seconds. 30 more seconds. So yeah, now I got, like, to me, like, I think I need to, but I don't really need to say anything about the hit target GUID. I don't think, or the instigator ID, or the hit ID, but the timestamp, yes, and all that stuff. So maybe let's just say, let's say, yeah, I might need to also include the type of hit it was. But what did I just say? Hit target information or info. Hit target info. Hit instigator info. And then I want to say hit context info. And that's maybe it. 3. And I want to kind of consolidate some of this data into like these things. So now I got to do an iteration here. So got to end a table at some point, right? End table. Now I got to do an end. Here, we'll see. Well, let's go back now to our table. This example, it's iterating over those attributes and everything like that. So we want to get now. So we need a t-array of f hit log entry, hit log entry should be good, and then 4 okay, I'm a computer science student and need advice. I'm stuck deciding whether to focus on finishing simple indie games or learning advanced systems like Gas. Trying to do both at once isn't working for me. Which path do you think is better for learning? Well, I guess it really depends what your goal is for learning. Since you're a computer science major, or student, I would. That's hard to say because, like, if you're computer science, then you want to try to get as advanced as possible. If you're more wanting to focus as a game design student, that's where I would be like, okay, just make small indie games. Who cares how they're made, kind of thing. But if you're a computer science major and you want to kind of architect systems on a larger scale, and then that's where I would focus then on bigger systems. Maybe even learn how to make your own engine if you're not already doing that. Dissect different kinds of engines as well. For example, learn how gas works in Unreal and implement a similar system in Unity or in Godot, and see how you might need to change things there. But if you want to just make games, then make small indie games. That's really it. Hopefully that kind of helped. Because I'm in that kind of conflicted mindset as well, where like I want to dive deeper into engine stuff, but I want to make games. and then I end up in like a purgatory of like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing kind of situation. So hopefully that gives you some info. So we're gonna do that. None of this is right though. So what we want to do is, you know, maybe I don't know if I want to actually pop into a menu item and everything and draw a new one, but yeah, maybe there should be like the individual rows and stuff. You click it and then you get like more information. But we'll see. We have all the data that we want to work with anyway, so how do I do it? Text new line. Is it ImGui? There's new line. Okay, so maybe I could say so the first column is hit target info, right? So we want to say hit. So we want to say entry dot target class name, and then new line, and then ImGui text. Oh yeah, the way. Thanks. So I need to figure out what I really wanted to do first. Yeah, pretty much. Like again, you're computer science. So my assumption, like, it really depends on how far deep into the computer science rabbit hole you want to go to. If you want to make your own engine, or if you just want to be like a gameplay programmer, and then or a systems programmer, and just kind of go from there, you know. The next one's instigator, so hit instigator name, hit instigator class name, and then the last one is like the data. So that's like the hit result stuff. So I would need to maybe have a button that kind of opens up more information. I'll have to figure that out. So let's, instead of just putting everything like the hit results and stuff just for now. So yeah, we're also got those the tag container name as well, which I'm not sure how best to write that either. I want to see how to best organize how to write all the tags within a gameplay tag container nicely within this column. It does have bullet text, so good. For example, say, well, let's see if this works out. ImGui line, this, right? So then this would be entry dot hit target text container. That maybe. Let's separate all the columns into the one thing, right? That. This would be hit instigator text container. This would be hit context text container. Maybe that'll work. I really hope I could be as good as you someday. I'll be following you closely. I appreciate that, Kaplan, but you know, I'm not that good. There's a lot better people out there. But if I inspire, cool. Maybe I undersell myself too much. I don't know. I like to try to stay humble because we're all learning. We're all trying to do the best that we can. Okay, so we have some issues here. Unresolved. External symbol. T weak object class pawn. Okay. See if we need to also top. That's our selected pawn. Yeah. I don't know if we'll need the extra windows or anything like that. No way, you're Devin Cherry, the man, the legend. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Let's see if that'll compile. Okay. Now let's see what this actual window looks like. There's only one person between us working on Witcher 4, man. Fair. But yeah. Being able to work on The Witcher is a crazy thing to think about, you know? Never thought, I never thought I'd be in Poland for one, let alone working on Witcher. I think that's awesome. So let's open this up. We got our damage pipeline. This. Now if I hit, nothing is really coming up. So it's kind of something. Kind of goes away. I feel like it's doing the opposite. Breakpoint. It doesn't seem like it's drawing. Okay, so I think I know why. So there's this attribute panel. This card history have a very similar. I'm doing this. Should be getting. Doing cash pots. get doing. Maybe I have to get access to the damage pipeline stuff too. Select upon null pointer. Doing anything special. Good. Seems normal. I'm not entirely sure why it kind of doesn't draw the table when I'm expecting it to. Maybe it's because... Oh, I think I know why. Because all this is happening within the combo. Let's do that. That. Now this. So let's... That. Now I should just do here. We got 15 minutes left. Let's see how far we can take this. Pipeline. This looks right. So let's see now. We smack. But it's not really updating. Okay, so it's getting the... So B. And this is the tags. Okay. So yeah, we're not getting the appropriate information here. So basically we're going to say, so TRA, inactive ID, this is where the problem is. Or like that. That should be enough. So basically we were just getting the information for the hit target, not for like the person instigating the hit either. Should do it. So awesome. Yeah, so hit target info is not getting valid. So there's something weird going on. So let's put a breakpoint here. We're gonna go like that. Bam. So let's look at new entry. Here's our IDs. So hit target name and then class name. It's kind of the same. Hit target tags container. But those things are empty. So I don't know why I'm really getting these. So let's put... So hit target name stuff. So we're gonna just go like Mike. We're gonna stop here. Bam. Here. Doesn't give us any information. You know, like, it's right. We need to do like separators and everything too. But yeah, it's not really giving us all the data. Maybe because I'm just doing it like this. So maybe I have to do it like that. Like tchar to s, right? Maybe something like that. Let's do a hot reload and just see if we get the information here. Okay, so now we're getting the right information. Update it. I don't know if I need new line or not. Let's just take out new line and just see what that looks like. So yeah, same thing. Tchar to whoop. That. Whoops. And scenes. Should be okay. That. Now there's not really a clear separation, but I am getting the other hit event here. Like bam. Which is cool. But I guess I don't technically need a new line. I do want to make sure I get a good separator. No, there's another flag that I gotta add, but let's just finish this up. Good. Is there another JetBrains update? I feel like I updated it a shit ton yesterday. Is that the one? Let's see. We're gonna have to put a cap somewhere, maybe in the U project settings or something, on how much historical records we can hold. But yeah, there's all the information. So we'll get rid of the new line. I have to put like headers within stuff. Yeah, I'm not sure about like the hit result stuff. Like, I wonder if I need to make it like a button, but you know, in theory, is there a way to get the number of elements in a struct? Must be, right? Title. Thing. Number of inside struct member. So values.num. So I should be able to potentially say, now 4 doing 32. I more or less like this, but I want to say entry dot hit result dot value, or is it just dot num? Can I say for the old property is the result? Something like that. Bullet point text. I am having a hard time choosing a direction for my gameplay, especially combat. How do you deal with situations where you're stuck between 2 or 3 ideas? I mean, I guess ultimately you need to know the high level direction for the combat. So if any of those ideas actively go against that, or other ideas push towards that vision more, then you kind of lean into those a little bit more. You can also play test it with other people. So if you have those prototypes, you can open up for people to check out and see what people like best. And you kind of have to figure out, again, just like which of these ideas feeds into the core loop the most, and kind of work with those. I wish I could give you a better answer than that, but that's usually what I find most common. Script. So what's wrong now? I'd say don't try to design gameplay. You're asking the wrong question. Well, I mean, you have to design gameplay a little bit. What would you think is the right question, Porvific? Sure, a little bit. However, the genre of the game will set the maturity of it. True. So again, depends on the kind of game you want to make, I suppose. A lot of devs try to make original gameplay and end up with a disaster nobody wants to play. That's fair. So like, part of the process is kind of understanding what kind of game you want to make and the references to those games that already exist. Because every new game is more or less a conglomerate of games that already exist in some capacity. I feel like I do something similar in the state tree. Seems to exist. Export text item. That doesn't fix it. Just what are some examples of this? Let's look. There is array property and then inner something like this. Maybe that will work. Can I say prop export item text? That'll do it. I'll show all the information about the hit result. Oh. Let's see if that will compile. Fingers crossed, boys. Okay, it worked. Cool. So face index, time, distance, all that good stuff. I need to make sure maybe text can wrap around. So we're hitting the here. Yeah, definitely not the neatest looking debug right now. Information online about it. So automatic wrapping global for a section. Use push text. Okay. Should maybe be able to say like here. Maybe. Okay. This one wraps. Okay. Gotcha. So I guess I need to do it. Here. Yeah, we're running out of time for today. So let's just double check what this looks like. Forgot to organize this better. Still not wrapping the way I'd expect it to. It's fine, I guess. Yeah, so far so good. I'll have to make sections, and I'll have to just kind of figure out where this needs to be, because I'm also not getting bone names and stuff, and the component that I'm hitting is actually the capsule component on this guy. I wonder if I can just make sure I fix that real quick. There's this capsule component that's on. And then the skeleton mesh. It's mesh. Do I get the same thing when I spawn a dummy? Feed manager. We're getting some fucked up wrapping again. So yeah, that's not really what I expected to do. Let's just leave it alone for now. Not for sure how best to kind of outline this information. It's like maybe this context data be maybe more of a button. I guess this all could be like a button. But yeah, I don't think. Let me see if I can create like. It's like with the, for example, like gameplay attributes. Like I want to create. Yeah, it doesn't even have it there, but the attributes are a little more organized. Okay. One thing I want to try that'll be fun. I think I want to see if it'll work because this was my idea. I want to see if I can simulate the hit again in the GUI of the GUID in game. So after I've done the hit, I want to see if I can simulate the hit again. So that'll be the last thing that we do. That'll take some time. We'll see how far we can get. So we need another entry here. I'm gonna say simulate hit. And then we need to do table next. Do ImGui. Let's do what if button label there is no running from playtest. Yeah, never. Hiding from a playtest means you're a coward, which I'm a coward. You know, I run away from playtests all the time. Simulate. So when this happens, I should be able to. So I have to get damage pipeline again. Making a function here. So function gonna be cool. B simulate hit from oops. So what I need to do is first I need to get the log entry. So f hit log entry, blah, 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 blah. So get for an actor ID. That's not what I want. I think I need to maybe make another function as well. So u function f hit log entry. That generate. So I got something very similar to what I'm doing up here, but I need to break at some point, right? So I need to do f hit log entry. And then I need to do target hash. That will work. I say so if do that. Now I gotta construct a hit context. So f hit context. I gotta say hit context dot hit target equals. Now I have to get the hit log entry dot hit target ID. Now how can I get the actor? So how to get actor from GUI. There should be some help function, I hope. So I have to do a iterator. So let's also introduce that. So this is definitely why I suggested a different subsystem. So we'll have to refactor this out next time. So let's just keep going. New function. Actor. Actor from okay. More something like that. So okay, so what's wrong here? Type is incomplete. So what do I need? Iterator. People on Kick are crazy. I don't think I've had a legitimate viewer or authentic viewer. I need engine utils. Okay. Now I need to say so if we got that. Now I gotta do another one. So if something like this, almost. F hit context was need. It's got the source objects and tag containers and everything. So I'm gonna have to keep going, right? If it has this, that, that, hit timestamp, hit results, context tags container. We don't have the source object. We'll need to do that next time, which may not be yet. And then send hit request, right? Not all control points. Say return false, right? All good. So in theory, that should be fine. But now back in our damage panel, we can say damage by the subsystem. Emulate ImGui ID, enter the hit ID. So what the type do? It's also so get actor. That's still valid, right? So get last for hit UID. So this can be to be able to just use that. That's okay. But yeah, back here, simulate should also be good. We'll see if this works, and if it doesn't, we'll come back at it next time. I know, not sure how well you guys can see Lola in the background, just hanging out in the bedroom. So it's compiled successfully, which is surprising. This is also a Boolean, so I might be able to like write out, hey, if it was successful, do something else, but let's see. I'm expecting either it's going to crash or nothing happens. So I'll be surprised if there's also a button. So bam. Okay. So button code should use push ID in loops. So 5 visible items with conflicting ID. Okay. I'm not sure that is the why it doesn't work. Let's see. Do we get to here? I guess is the first question. Bam. We do. Okay. Seems like do get to send hit request. We do get it. But we don't get like the callback in melee base, for example. Base. Because in code, what do we do? Like in our subsystem, traces, don't copy that. Subsystem, melee trace. Make the call into the damage pipeline, right? Say on hit event. Right? When we get here, log hit event, right? So we do get all of that. So let us try one more time. Go to damage pipeline. Here. Do that. And then simulate hit. So let's put a breakpoint here. Oh. Okay, I know why. Because it's in our melee class. So it's not, of course, it's not going to be invoked. But, no. For example, if I were to go really slow, imagine that would have hit. I guess that makes sense. Like the things have to kind of exist somewhere. I guess technically it does work. Don't know if I need to do anything special with the button. Yeah, what's the issue with the button? So 2 visible items with conflicting ID. So that's why. As soon as I click the button, there's a problem because they're all called simulate hit, right? I'm going to do something like that, and then I would just want to say what? Maybe that's okay. All good. So I just need to update the text. Something like that, and then we'll call it a day. Simulate hit ID 49, 50. That's giving everything closer to what I'm envisioning. But yeah, being able to simulate it correctly, I don't know how. Because like there's all this information. I don't know, like this is wrapped in a comment that's empty. It has to. They don't want it to exist outside of this, but we'll see how that could possibly evolve. Maybe it's not doable. We'll definitely be able to do like simulate damage or something like that, but maybe simulate hit is just not doable. But more or less, we're making good progress. So, we'll figure out how best to clean this up. Again, this is not visually that great. The context data is kind of hard to read. Things aren't really labeled correctly, and things like that. But, you know, progress. Maybe this is redundant naming, like who knows? Like, and we'll have to refactor this out to its own subsystem. I think is for the best. Get class and get name. These are all the same names. There's get class. Is there like get? Like get class name is the same? I'm not sure. It's weird. But yeah, good progress today. I think we solved that other problem. So that's where I'm going to end it for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. It's much appreciated. Thanks to all watching from YouTube. Make sure to subscribe there. Thank you all for watching on Twitch. Make sure to follow there. Make sure to join our Discord. That's. I don't think I'll be streaming until next Tuesday. But I hope you enjoyed the little bit of extra streams this week. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you soon.